What's up? This your girl T Green coming back at you with another video. Today I was just kind of sitting around thinking about a number of things. The funny thing is I wasn't thinking about a video idea, but this idea came up because I was at work and I had gotten something on my chin, and I think I was eating my breakfast or something. And anyway, the first thing I thought about is I reached in my drawer because I have like this little attaché bag and it has a lot of little personal hygiene stuff in there. And I have a bottle about this big with hydrogen peroxide in it. And so I took a baby wipes, I have those in there too, and I kind of sprinkled a little bit on the baby wipe and just kind of cleaned off what I had on my chin. And the first thing I thought about, I just kind of chuckled to myself and I was like, well, I guess the baby wipe would have been enough. Why did I pull out the peroxide? Part of that is because of the fact that I am a germaphobe. So I don't know. I guess I just, mentally I'm thinking the wipe just wasn't going to be enough. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so as I was putting everything back, I thought, oh, wow, that is a great video idea. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the different uses for hydrogen peroxide. Now, I know that this is a common household product. A lot of people have it in their homes. A lot of people use it for different things. I myself use it for a lot of different things. Some of them personal hygiene, some of them has to do with cleaning, different things like that. And so anyway, I just thought it would be fun. You may know all of these, and if you don't, you'll be pleasantly surprised to find what different ways the peroxide can be used. Some of the ways, because I did a little bit more research to just try to see if there were some other things that you could use the peroxide for. And there were some uses that I wasn't aware of, and I just thought it was really neat to share these with you. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little story. As I stated before, I am a person who's very regimented. I have my little routines, I have my schedules, and so on and so forth. And one particular morning, my husband had to be to work earlier, which meant that he got up at the same time I did, and so he was kind of in the way. He was moving around in the same space that I was at the same time that I was, and it was throwing my morning routine way off. Well, I got to work, going about my day, and there was a time, we have 3 floors, and there was a time where I would go up to the 3rd floor because they have the 3rd floor marked, and that's where I would walk around, and so many times around is a mile and so on and so forth. And I was doing that. I have a 30-minute lunch, and I was doing that on my lunch break. Well, this particular day, I didn't think anything of it, went about my normal routine, went up to the 3rd floor on my lunch break, walked around, and I came back down. I'm not a person I don't have like heavy body odor. And I really don't sweat. I mean, I might, what they call mist. My forehead get a little wet. I might get a little damp, under my chin. But as far as like profusely sweating, I don't do that. And so anyway, I came back down and was kind of getting my stuff together, whatever. And then I was like, what is that smell? And I'm thinking, is that me? It was so embarrassing. Nobody was around me, but it was just so embarrassing. So I kind of did what we women do. I went in the ladies' room and I did a sniff test. I could not believe I had gone out of the house without putting on deodorant. My entire morning was completely discombobulated, and I had actually left the house without deodorant. I was so petrified. Fortunately for me, I had, like I said, my attaché bag, and I have extra deodorant, I have a little washcloth, and I have all kinds of other things in there. And so I went back to my desk, and I was gathering up all my things kind of frantically because I was like, I don't want anybody to smell me, because I think that's gross. And so I grabbed the peroxide, and it was just a knee-jerk reaction because I don't care what it is that I'm doing. For some strange reason, I just always grab the peroxide. So I went to the restroom and I got my washcloth, and my washcloth is in a Ziploc bag. So if I ever use it, I can stick the wet cloth back in the Ziploc bag and then throw it in my bag to bring home. So I grabbed everything and I went in there and I saturated the washcloth, and I had my little body wash and all that stuff, and went in the restroom, and I kid you not, I completely stripped. I was in there, I was in the stall thinking I was going to do what they call a military wash, real quick. But I saturated the washcloth and I put the peroxide on to kind of do like a pre-wash. And I know some people might think that's weird. And when I did the pre-wash, I could smell myself before I did that. But when I did the pre-wash, I didn't smell anything. So I was like, oh my goodness, did the peroxide just take care of all of that? Sure enough, the smell was gone. I hadn't even used the body wash yet. So I was like, that's new. And I was like, well, I don't feel dirty. Or anything like that. So I went ahead and I just, got my clothes and everything back on, put my deodorant on, and I was good to go. I kind of kept checking myself throughout the day because I'm thinking, was this just like a temporary situation, or was I going to be good for the rest of the day? I was good for the rest of the day. So guess what, y'all? Hydrogen peroxide is a good substance to use when you are in a situation where maybe you don't have soap. And I know if you don't have soap, why would you have hydrogen peroxide? But hydrogen peroxide is actually cheaper than a bar of soap in some instances. I've gone to the store and I've actually seen peroxide for 29 cents a bottle. So versus $1 or more for a bar of soap. And to me, when I went to take my bath that evening, I still didn't smell anything. So I'm like, oh wow. Now you don't get I guess for the women, the fragrance and the really, feminine smell and all that kind of stuff, but you smell clean. And I think at the end of the day, that is the objective. So anyway, that was my little story time, and peroxide saved the day because I was just like, I could not believe that happened. So now I'm more conscious, especially if my husband gets up. That's like I'm programmed now to think about, like, go through my little checklist of what it is that I need to do for myself before I leave, because I can't afford for that to happen. And I'm in a situation where I don't have something to take care of myself. So anyway, the next thing is I often, some people don't like Listerine. They say it's too strong, and it is a little strong. Sometimes you have to dilute it with water or whatever. But one day I was trying a brand new toothpaste, and on the toothpaste it said that it had peroxide in it. And so, I don't know, it was a curiosity thing for me. I have these little Dixie cups, and I took my Dixie cup and I put my half of what I usually use for my mouthwash into the Dixie cup, and then I took like maybe a cap and a half of peroxide and kind of swished it around, and then I put it in my mouth, swished it around, and then I brushed my teeth, and then I did a post rinse. And that's just my normal oral routine. Well, I noticed that the color of my teeth started changing for the good. It's nothing bad. So I'm sure it was the combination of adding the peroxide to my mouthwash, having peroxide in my toothpaste. And so the peroxide is good for oral hygiene. You have to be careful not to swallow. You do not want to swallow peroxide. That can be dangerous. It's not like if you accidentally swallow mouthwash. It's, a little bit different if you are swallowing the peroxide. You don't want to do that. And you definitely want to make sure if you use a peroxide that you dilute it with a little water. Another use is it's obvious, it's first aid. You can use it to like clean cuts and stuff like that. And you can use it for uses around the house. If you have grout that's a little discolored, you can use it to, if you mix it with baking soda, it's just like with your teeth. Grout is porous, just like your teeth are, and you can use it to whiten the grout as well. You can use it by itself, spray bottle, or you can actually take and make a paste out of it with baking soda and use a toothbrush and clean your grout. You can also use it to rinse your fruit. Now I know some people like to clean their fruit, their produce and things like that with vinegar. I've heard vinegar and water. I've heard a couple different solutions that people mix together, but peroxide is another one, and you just have to rinse it very well. Years ago, they came out with this produce wash. It's very expensive in the stores now. I wouldn't dare pay that much for something I can mix up at home. But it was really popular when it first came out, and it wasn't expensive because people had really just started finding out about it, and it cleaned the produce very well. I was very happy. But when you look at the ingredients, a lot of that stuff you have at home, and it is safe for your food because it's safe for you to use without gloves. It's safe for you to, like I said, the peroxide, you can rinse your mouth, you can, wipe your skin off with it and things like that. So if it's safe to use on your food, on yourself, it's safe to use on your food in a lot of cases, which is hence the vinegar, why people were using it. So anyway, I have done a little bit of research, and I know my glasses are posting a glare, but I like how I look in them. My husband said that you can't see my eyes, but I think I'm okay with that. Y'all can see my eyes just a little bit. But anyway, I don't think that's why you're watching this video. So I've done my research, and I have several links that I'm going to post in the description box. You can click on, and you can kind of read through the material and everything for yourself. Some of them have quite a long list. A lot of it's a little redundant, but there are some variations between the different websites and everything. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Make sure that you click that notification bell so that you can be notified the next time I post a video. Also, we are asking that you follow us on our all of our other social media, like our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And we look forward to bringing you some very interesting content going forward. And we would love to have you as part of our family. So in the meantime, you take care. Bye.